Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, your life keeps unfolding in ways you never expected? You pray with sincerity, you make every effort, yet certain doors remain closed. Some dreams never come true. Some hardships stay longer than you can bear. And in those quiet moments, a question begins to echo in your heart. Can my destiny ever change? Most people spend their lives searching for answers, believing that peace will come when their circumstances finally improve. But what if they've been searching in the wrong place? What if the greatest secret about destiny has never been about changing what Allah has written, but about understanding the wisdom behind it? Centuries ago, one of Islam's greatest spiritual masters, Abdul Qadir Jilani, rahimahullah, shared a timeless truth that continues to transform hearts to this day. He taught that every delay, every loss, every unanswered prayer, and every trial carries a purpose far greater than we can see. Nothing in your life is random. Nothing has been forgotten, and nothing escapes the perfect knowledge and mercy of Allah. By the end of this video, you may never look at your struggles the same way again. You may discover that the very thing you've been asking Allah to remove could actually be the path leading you closer to Him. And perhaps the greatest miracle is not that your destiny changes, but that your heart does. So stay with me until the very end, because the hidden secret Abdul Qadir Jilani revealed has the power to replace fear with certainty, anxiety with peace, and doubt with complete trust in Allah's perfect plan. Your destiny was written with perfect wisdom before you were born. One of the hardest truths for the human heart to accept is that not everything is under our control. We live in a world that tells us we can shape every part of our future if we work hard enough, plan carefully enough, or simply want it badly enough. Islam certainly encourages effort, perseverance, and ambition, but it also reminds us that every outcome ultimately unfolds according to Allah's perfect knowledge and wisdom. Abdul Qadir Jilani taught that many believers suffer unnecessarily because they spend their lives fighting against what Allah has already decreed, instead of trusting the one who wrote their destiny with infinite mercy. Long before you were born, Allah already knew every moment of your life. He knew every success you would celebrate, every tear you would shed, every person you would meet, and every hardship you would face. Nothing has ever surprised Him. This should not make you feel powerless. It should bring peace to your heart. The one who controls your future is not random fate, it is Allah, the most wise and the most merciful. Even when life seems unfair or confusing, His plan is always based on wisdom that reaches far beyond what we can see. Think about the story of Prophet Yusuf, A.S. He was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a well, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for years. At every stage, his life seemed to be falling apart. Yet every painful event was leading him exactly where Allah wanted him to be. What looked like tragedy was actually preparation for greatness. The same Allah who guided Yusuf's journey is guiding yours, even if you cannot yet understand the reason behind every delay or every trial. Abdul Qadir Jilani reminded his students that true faith begins when you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is Allah teaching me through this?" That single question changes everything. Instead of seeing every hardship as a punishment, you begin to see it as a lesson, a purification, or a step towards something greater than you could ever imagine. This does not mean we stop making effort. Islam teaches us to work hard, make sincere dua, and pursue what is good. But after doing our part, we leave the outcome to Allah. That is the essence of tawakkul, complete trust in the one who knows what we do not. Sometimes Allah grants what we ask for immediately. Sometimes He delays it. Sometimes He gives us something far better. And sometimes He protects us by withholding what we thought we needed. The hidden secret Abdul Qadir Jilani revealed is that peace does not come from controlling your destiny. It comes from trusting the one who wrote it. When your heart truly accepts that Allah's decree is always filled with wisdom, you stop fearing the future and start walking through life with confidence, patience, and unwavering faith. Every delay, loss, and hardship is part of Allah's greater plan. One of the greatest reasons people lose hope is because they mistake delay for denial. We live in a world that demands instant results. We expect our prayers to be answered immediately, our problems to disappear quickly, and our dreams to unfold according to our own timeline. But Abdul Qadir Jilani taught that Allah's timing is never late and never early. It is always perfect. What we see as a delay is often Allah preparing us for something we are not yet ready to receive. Every hardship, every closed door, and every unexpected loss carries a wisdom that may remain hidden until years later. Think about how many times you wished for something with all your heart, only to later realize that not getting it was one of Allah's greatest blessings. Perhaps you wanted a relationship that would have led you away from your faith, a job that would have consumed your soul, or an opportunity that seemed perfect but would have brought unseen harm. At the time, you felt disappointed. You questioned Allah's wisdom. But looking back, you recognized that Allah was protecting you all along. This is the difference between human vision and divine wisdom. We see only the present moment, while Allah sees the beginning, the end, and everything in between. Abdul Qadir Jilani reminded his students that trials are not signs that Allah has abandoned you. More often, they are signs that He is refining you. Gold is purified by fire, and the believer is purified through tests. Every difficulty removes something from the heart: pride, impatience, attachment to this world, or dependence on people, and replaces it with sincerity, humility, and trust in Allah. Without these moments of struggle, many of us would never turn back to our Creator with true devotion. The lives of the prophets prove this reality. Prophet Ayub A.S. lost his wealth, his health, and even his family, yet he never lost his trust in Allah. His patience was not passive acceptance, it was unwavering faith that Allah's wisdom was greater than his pain. When relief finally came, it was more beautiful than anything he had lost. His story reminds us that no hardship lasts forever, and no sincere patience goes unnoticed by Allah. This is the hidden secret Abdul Qadir Jilani wanted every believer to understand. Allah is not only writing your destination, He is also carefully designing the journey that will lead you there. The delays, the disappointments, and the trials are not obstacles to your destiny. They are part of your destiny. Once your heart accepts this truth, you stop seeing hardship as the end of your story and begin seeing it as the way Allah is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. The secret of tawakkul: stop resisting what Allah has decreed. Perhaps the greatest lesson Abdul Qadir Jilani taught was that true peace does not come from changing your circumstances. It comes from changing the condition of your heart. Most people spend their lives trying to control everything around them. They want every plan to succeed, every relationship to last, every opportunity to work out exactly as they imagined. When life moves in a different direction, they become frustrated, anxious, and sometimes even begin to question Allah's wisdom. But Abdul Qadir Jilani warned that the more a person fights against Allah's decree, the more restless their heart becomes. Real peace begins the moment you stop arguing with what Allah has already chosen and start trusting that His choice is always better than your own. This is the essence of tawakkul. Many people misunderstand tawakkul as simply waiting for Allah to solve their problems while doing nothing themselves. But Islam teaches something much deeper. Tawakkul means making every sincere effort within your ability while placing complete confidence in Allah for the outcome. You work hard, make dua, seek halal means, and strive for excellence. But once you have done your part, you release the burden of control. You no longer carry the weight of worrying about what only Allah can decide. Your responsibility is effort. The result belongs to Him. One of the greatest causes of anxiety today is our obsession with controlling the future. We constantly ask ourselves, what if I fail? What if I lose my job? What if this relationship ends? What if my plans never work out? These thoughts steal our peace because they focus on a future that has not yet arrived. Abdul Qadir Jilani taught that the believer lives with certainty, knowing that whatever Allah has written will reach them, and whatever He has not written can never be forced into existence. This certainty frees the heart from endless fear because it knows that no one can take away what Allah has decreed and no one can give what Allah has withheld. The Quran repeatedly reminds us that Allah is the best of planners. Yet when our own plans fall apart, we often forget this promise. We see only the disappointment of the moment, while Allah sees the blessings hidden behind it. Sometimes He closes a door because another one, far better, is waiting to open. Sometimes He delays your success because your character is still being shaped. Sometimes He removes someone from your life because they would have distracted you from Him. What appears to be loss may actually be protection, and what feels like failure may be preparation for something your heart cannot yet imagine. Look at the life of Prophet Musa, a.s. As a baby, he was placed into a river by his own mother, an act that seemed terrifying and unimaginable. Yet that very river carried him into the palace of Pharaoh, where Allah protected him and prepared him for his future mission. What looked like danger was actually divine care. This is how Allah's decree often works. The path rarely makes sense while we are walking it, but when we look back, we begin to see His wisdom in every step. Abdul Qadr Jilani also explained that resisting Allah's decree often comes from excessive attachment to this world. We become convinced that happiness depends on getting a specific job, marrying a particular person, achieving a certain level of wealth, or living the life we imagined. But when these things become the center of our hearts, disappointment becomes inevitable. The believer's heart should be attached to Allah, not to outcomes. When Allah is your greatest goal, then every decree, whether easy or difficult, brings you closer to Him instead of pushing you away. This does not mean you never feel sadness or pain. Even the prophets experience grief. Prophet Yaqub, a.s., cried for years over the loss of his beloved son Yusuf. The difference was that his sorrow never turned into rebellion against Allah's will. He said, "I only complain of my suffering and my grief to Allah." That is the heart of tawakkul. You are allowed to cry, to feel hurt, and to ask Allah for relief, but you never lose your trust in His wisdom. Your pain brings you closer to Allah, not further away from Him. The hidden secret Abdul Qadir Jilani revealed is that surrender is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. The strongest believer is not the one who controls every situation, but the one who remains calm when life refuses to follow their plans. They understand that Allah's decree is never an enemy to fight against, but a path designed by the most merciful. When your heart reaches this level of trust, fear begins to disappear. Patience becomes easier, and every challenge becomes another opportunity to draw closer to Allah. That is the true power of tawakkul, and it is a treasure that no hardship can ever take away. The only thing that can truly change is your heart, not Allah's wisdom. There is a hidden mistake that many people make without even realizing it. They spend years asking Allah to change their circumstances, but they rarely ask Him to change themselves. They pray for more wealth, but never ask for gratitude. They pray for success, but forget to ask for humility. They pray for their hardships to disappear, yet they never ask Allah to transform the heart that is experiencing those hardships. Abdul Qadir Jilani taught that this is where true spiritual transformation begins. Allah may not always change your situation immediately, but He can completely change the person who is living through that situation. And once your heart changes, you begin to see the same life through completely different eyes. Think about two people facing exactly the same trial. One becomes bitter, constantly complaining, blaming everyone around them, and questioning Allah's wisdom. The other becomes more patient, more sincere, and more devoted in prayer. The hardship is identical, yet the outcome is completely different because the condition of the heart is different. This is why Abdul Qadir Jilani emphasized that the greatest battlefield is not outside of you, it is within you. The real victory is not conquering the world, but conquering your own ego, your fears, your doubts, and your attachment to worldly expectations. Most of us believe peace will come after our problems disappear. We tell ourselves, once I get that job, I'll finally be happy. Once I get married, everything will be perfect. Once I have more money, all my worries will end. Once this difficulty passes, then I'll have peace. But life teaches us something different. As soon as one problem ends, another one begins. One goal is achieved, and immediately another desire takes its place. The human heart is never satisfied by the world alone because it was never created to find its ultimate peace in the world. It was created to find peace in Allah. This is why some of the wealthiest people live with constant anxiety, while some of the poorest believers sleep peacefully every night. It is why someone surrounded by luxury can still feel empty, while another person with very little can feel rich in contentment. The difference is not what they possess, it is what possesses their hearts. Abdul Qadr Jilani taught that when your heart becomes attached to Allah, instead of temporary blessings, you become free from the fear of losing what this world can take away. Allah often uses hardships to expose what truly controls our hearts. A financial loss may reveal our dependence on wealth. A broken relationship may expose how much we relied on another person for our happiness instead of relying on Allah. A failure may uncover our pride. A delay may expose our impatience. These moments are painful, but they are also acts of mercy because they reveal the spiritual diseases hidden deep within us. Just as a skilled doctor must first identify an illness before treating it, Allah allows certain trials to reveal what needs healing inside our hearts. Abdul Qadir Jilani explained that many believers ask Allah to remove the test, while forgetting that the test itself may be the very thing bringing them closer to Him. How many people only discover the sweetness of sincere dua after experiencing hardship? How many people only begin praying consistently after life humbles them? How many hearts return to Allah only after realizing that nothing else can truly satisfy them? Sometimes the greatest blessing in your life arrives, disguised as the greatest difficulty. If Allah had given you everything you wanted immediately, perhaps you would never have developed the closeness to Him that your soul truly needed. The lives of the prophets beautifully illustrate this truth. Prophet Yunus, A.S., found himself alone in the darkness of the sea, inside the belly of a great fish. From a worldly perspective, his situation seemed completely hopeless. Yet it was in that darkness that he uttered one of the most powerful supplications in history. "There is no God but you. Glory be to you. Indeed, I have been among the wrongdoers." Notice that, before asking for rescue, he acknowledged Allah's perfection and reflected on himself. His heart changed before his circumstances changed. Only then did Allah bring him relief. This teaches us that sometimes Allah first transforms the soul before He transforms the situation. This lesson is especially important in today's world, where people constantly compare their lives to others. Social media makes it seem as though everyone else is living a perfect life while we alone struggle. We begin chasing someone else's destiny instead of appreciating our own. We forget that every person has a different test, a different journey, and a different purpose written by Allah. Comparison steals gratitude because it convinces us that Allah has been more generous to others than to us. But Abdul Qadir Jilani reminded believers that every decree of Allah is uniquely designed for the individual receiving it. The test that strengthens one person might destroy another. Allah knows exactly what each soul needs to reach Him. The greatest miracle, then, is not always that Allah changes your external life overnight. Sometimes the greater miracle is that He fills your heart with patience while the storm continues. He gives you hope when everyone else has given up. He gives you contentment when you have less than before. He gives you certainty when nothing around you seems certain. These are gifts far greater than temporary worldly success because they remain with you no matter what happens in life. Abdul Qadir Jilani taught that a believer should not judge Allah's love by the ease of their circumstances. Instead, they should ask themselves a different question. Is this experience bringing me closer to Allah or further away from Him? If a hardship softens your heart, increases your prayers, strengthens your faith, and teaches you humility, then it has already become one of the greatest blessings in your life, even if it still hurts. The hidden secret is that Allah's wisdom never needs to change because it is already perfect. The only thing that truly needs to change is us. When our hearts become purified, our perspective changes. We stop seeing every delay as rejection and begin seeing it as preparation. We stop seeing every hardship as punishment and begin recognizing it as purification. We stop demanding that Allah follow our plans and instead find peace in following His. And that is the transformation Abdul Qadir Jilani wanted every believer to experience. The world around you may remain exactly the same, but if your heart becomes filled with trust, gratitude, patience, and love for Allah, then everything changes. the chains of fear begin to break, anxiety loses its grip, and you discover a peace that no worldly success could ever provide. That is the heart that Allah wants to build. A heart that remains firm because it knows that whatever Allah decrees is always, without exception, for the ultimate good of the believer. Abdul Qadir Jilani's hidden secret: when you surrender to Allah's will, your destiny becomes a path to peace. After a lifetime of teaching, guiding hearts, and calling people back to Allah, Abdul Qadir Jilani repeatedly returned to one truth above all others. The greatest secret is not learning how to escape your destiny. It is learning how to walk through it with complete trust in Allah. This is where many people misunderstand life. They believe happiness lies in changing their circumstances, rewriting their future, or avoiding every hardship that comes their way. But the saints of Islam understood something far deeper. They realized that the believer's greatest victory is not that life always goes according to their plans, but that their heart remains connected to Allah no matter what life brings. Every morning, millions of people wake up carrying invisible burdens. Some are worried about their future, others are trapped by regrets from the past. Some fear losing their health, their wealth, or the people they love. Others constantly compare themselves to those who seem more successful, wondering why Allah has given others what they themselves have been praying for. Without realizing it, they spend their entire lives trying to control things that were never meant to be in human hands. Abdul Qadir Jilani taught that this struggle is the source of endless anxiety because the heart was never created to carry the weight of controlling destiny. That responsibility belongs to Allah alone. The believer's task is different. Your responsibility is to worship Allah sincerely, obey Him, seek His forgiveness, make your dua with complete humility, strive with excellence, and then leave the outcome entirely in His hands. This is not giving up. It is the highest form of faith. It is saying, "O Allah, I will do everything you have commanded me to do, but I trust that whatever you choose for me will always be better than what I would have chosen for myself." That single belief has the power to remove a lifetime of fear. Many people ask, if my destiny is already written, then why should I make dua? Why should I work hard? Why should I even try? Abdul Qadir Jilani answered this confusion not by denying Allah's decree, but by reminding believers that Allah has also written the means by which His decree unfolds. Your dua is part of your destiny. Your repentance is part of your destiny. Your patience, your charity, your sincere effort, and your reliance upon Allah are all part of the story that Allah has already written for you. You do not know what has been written, which is why you continue striving with hope. The believer never becomes lazy because of destiny. Instead, belief in destiny gives them the courage to keep moving forward without fear of failure. One of the greatest traps of Shaitan is convincing people that if life is difficult, then Allah must not love them. Yet when we look at the lives of the prophets, we see the exact opposite. Prophet Nuh, A.S., preached for centuries while being mocked by his own people. Prophet Ibrahim, A.S., was thrown into a blazing fire. Prophet Yaqub, A.S., cried for years after losing Yusuf. Prophet Musa, A.S., stood before one of the greatest tyrants in history. Prophet Ayub, A.S., lost almost everything. And our beloved Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, endured rejection, persecution, hunger, grief, and the loss of many loved ones. Were these lives signs of Allah's anger? Absolutely not. They were signs of Allah preparing His most beloved servants for the highest ranks. Abdul Qadir Jilani taught that the believer should never judge Allah's love by how easy life feels. Ease can sometimes be a blessing, but it can also become a distraction. Hardship can sometimes be painful, but it can also become the very reason a person enters Jannah. What matters is not whether your life is easy or difficult. What matters is whether every experience brings you closer to Allah or pushes you further away. A single hardship that strengthens your faith is worth more than years of comfort that make you forget your Creator. This is why surrender is so powerful. Surrender does not mean you stop making dua. It does not mean you stop chasing your goals or working hard. It means you stop believing that your peace depends on getting exactly what you want. Instead, your peace comes from knowing that Allah is giving you exactly what you need. There is a profound difference between these two ways of living. One heart is always anxious because it is attached to outcomes. The other heart remains calm because it is attached to Allah. Think about a passenger sitting on an airplane. Very few passengers understand how to fly the aircraft. They cannot see every storm ahead, they cannot control the engines, and they cannot calculate the safest route. Yet they remain seated because they trust the pilot. If human beings can place such confidence in another human being with limited knowledge, then how much greater should our trust be in Allah, whose knowledge has no limits, whose wisdom never fails, and whose mercy encompasses everything. Every event in your life is under the control of the one who knows your past, your present, your future, and even the future you will never see. There will be moments when your plans collapse. There will be prayers that seem unanswered. There will be dreams that never come true. There will be doors that remain firmly closed despite your sincere efforts. In those moments, Shaitan whispers that Allah has forgotten you. But Abdul Qadr Jilani urged believers to reject those whispers immediately. The closed door may be protecting you from a disaster you cannot see. The delayed answer may be preparing you for something greater. The broken path may be leading you to the destination Allah chose before the creation of the heavens and the earth. The greatest transformation happens when you stop asking Allah to explain every decree and instead ask Him for the strength to live through every decree with faith. You stop demanding immediate answers and begin trusting His perfect timing. You stop asking, "Why me?" and begin asking, "How can this bring me closer to you, O Allah?" That shift changes everything. The hardship may remain for a while, but your heart is no longer crushed beneath its weight because it knows that Allah is carrying you through every moment. Abdul Qadr Jilani often reminded people that this world is not the believer's final home. We become overwhelmed because we unconsciously expect this temporary life to provide permanent happiness. But Allah never promised a life without tests. He promised His guidance, His mercy, His companionship for those who remember Him, and an eternal reward for those who remain patient. When you begin living with the hereafter constantly in your heart, many of the worries that once consumed you suddenly become much smaller. You realize that every trial has an expiration date, but every sincere act of patience has an eternal reward. This is the hidden secret that transformed the righteous before us. They were not fearless because they knew the future. They were fearless because they knew Allah. They understood that nothing could happen outside His will. No enemy could harm them without His permission. No blessing could be taken away unless He allowed it. No opportunity meant for them could ever belong to someone else. Whatever Allah had written would inevitably reach them, and whatever He had not written could never be forced into existence. This certainty gave them a peace that the world could neither give nor take away. Imagine living with that level of certainty every single day. Imagine waking up without being consumed by fear of tomorrow. Imagine making decisions without being paralyzed by what if. Imagine facing hardship without believing your life is falling apart. Imagine thanking Allah not only for what He gives you, but also for what He lovingly withholds, because He knows what you do not. That is the heart Abdul Qadr Jilani wanted every believer to develop. A heart that is free from slavery to this world because it has become a servant of Allah alone. So if there is one lesson to carry with you after this journey, let it be this. Your destiny does not need to change for you to find peace. Your heart does. When your heart surrenders completely to Allah's wisdom, you discover that every chapter of your life, even the painful ones, was written by the most merciful. The delays, the losses, the unanswered questions, and the unexpected turns were never random. They were all guiding you toward the person Allah created you to become. And perhaps that was Abdul Qadr Jilani's greatest secret of all. The believer who truly trusts Allah no longer fears destiny because they know that every line of their story has been written by the one who loves His servants more than they could ever imagine. From that moment forward, destiny is no longer something to resist. It becomes a journey of faith, a path of purification, and ultimately a road that leads back to Allah Himself. As we come to the end of this journey, one truth should now be clear. Your destiny is not your enemy. It is not a punishment, nor is it a prison. It is a path carefully written by Allah, the one whose knowledge has no limits, whose wisdom never makes a mistake, and whose mercy is greater than we can ever imagine. Every blessing you receive, every door that closes, every delay that tests your patience, and every hardship that brings tears to your eyes has a purpose, even if you cannot see it today. Abdul Qadir Jilani taught that the believer's greatest victory is not changing what Allah has decreed, but changing the heart that receives His decree. When your heart is filled with tawakkul, patience, gratitude, and certainty, even the heaviest trials become opportunities to grow closer to Allah. The questions that once filled you with fear begin to disappear, replaced by the unshakable confidence that Allah is guiding every step of your journey. So if you are carrying a burden today, if you are waiting for an answer to your dua, or if life has not unfolded the way you hope, remember this: Allah is never late, He is never unfair, and He never abandons those who put their trust in Him. What feels like a delay may be divine preparation. What feels like a loss may be divine protection. And what feels like the end of your story may simply be the beginning of something far greater than you could ever imagine. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin asking, "What is Allah teaching me through this?" That single change in perspective can transform your relationship with every trial you face. Trust Allah when the road is clear, and trust Him even more when it is not. One day, whether in this life or the next, you will see the wisdom behind every chapter that once left you confused. If this message touched your heart, take a moment to reflect on your own life. What burden have you been carrying that you need to place in Allah's hands? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your reflection may inspire someone else who is struggling in silence. If you found this video beneficial, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos exploring the timeless wisdom of Islam and the teachings of its greatest scholars. May Allah fill our hearts with unwavering trust, strengthen us through every test, forgive our shortcomings, and grant us the peace that comes from complete reliance upon Him. Ameen.